Welcome to week 5 of Yesudian yoga. Today we're going to be doing breathing exercises. We're going to be doing one exercise that's fairly tough on the wrists and also balance. That's why in the notes I said grab a towel. Especially if you have tight wrists, you're going to find that the towel makes it more comfortable. Fold it into 3 or something that's fairly thick. Anyways, when we get to it, you'll see why you want to have that. We'll start with complete yogi breathing as usual, sitting nice and tall, hands resting on your lap or on your knees. We're going to inhale for a count of 4, hold it for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4, and do that a total of 7 times. Take a normal inhale first, a normal exhale. At the end we start. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. 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 Come back to breathing normally. Roll your shoulders, let's loosen them up. The next exercise has a lot of arm movement, even though it's a breathing exercise. We're learning to decouple activity and moving with breathing. We're going to be doing an exercise where we hold our breath while we move vigorously. So come to standing. And I'll just demonstrate once. With an inhale, the arms come up, and then you're going to hold your breath. And you're going to swing your arms 5 times backwards, 5 times forwards, and then exhale. So hold your breath for the entire movement. We'll do that 2 times. Inhale, arms up. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And shake it out. And as always, if ever you get dizzy or lightheaded, just stop. If you need to sit down or kneel down, then do so. The next one looks a lot like a very slow push-up, only we're going to do it again, decoupling the breathing from the movement. So come to a push-up position. Take a full yogi breath, so deep inhale, and then hold it for 3 very slow push-ups. Do it on your knees or on your toes, whatever works for you. And exhale. Sit up for the second and last one of these. Inhale. And 3 slow push-ups. And exhale. Roll your shoulders. Come to seated for Sukh purvak. This seems to be now standard in all of the routines that we're doing. Actually, look, it's not next week, but we've been doing it now for a while. That's where your two fingers go on the forehead. The other two used to close off one nostril. The thumb used to close off the right nostril. Traditionally, you do this with your right hand. And we're going to take a normal inhale, normal exhale, and then close off the right nostril. Inhale. Close off the left nostril, hold. Open right nostril, exhale. Inhale right. Close. Open left, exhale. Inhale left. Close. Open right. Inhale. Close right. Open left. Inhale. Close left. Open right. And that's it. Breathe normally. Now you might think, it's not a whole lot. We've only done it 3 times, but if you do this every single day, it does add up, and you can do it in sets of 3 over and over as you like. We're just stopping at 3 because this is demonstration. Next one is the one I forgot last week, Yoga Mudra. Coming up onto your knees. Put your hands in the junction of the legs and the stomach, fists facing upwards, thumbs against your belly. You take a deep inhale. We're going to lean forward and our fists are going to press everything out. Hold that, then empty for as long as you can or as long as you like, and then with an inhale come up, and we repeat that 3 times. Inhale. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, normal exhale. Big inhale again. Lean forward. When you come up, then do a normal exhale. 3rd time, inhale deeply. Lean forward. Come up, breathe normally. Now the next exercise is the one that you're going to want that folded up blanket for, or towel. And you're also going to need some playfulness, because this is not necessarily going to work on the 1st, 3rd, 5th, 9th, or even the 15th try. But we're going to give it a shot. Show some variations. We're doing Mayurasana or peacock pose. This builds on the last one that we just did, except here you're supposed to breathe throughout. So come to kneeling next to your hands. As you can see, I've put my hands on the folded blanket so that my fingers are off. That's so that my fingers aren't pushing upwards with quite so much vigor, and it's not stressing my wrists as much. Even if your wrists are flexible, I would recommend doing it like this. Bring your elbows together, put them into your belly. Now bring your head to the ground. And I'm just going to talk you through it while Manik does it. And then rather than stretching her legs all the way straight back, she'll bring them back about halfway and bring her toes together. Yeah, so stretch your legs not all the way back, but bring your toes together, and now lift your feet off the ground and your knees. Yeah, feet and knees off the ground. All right.
You mean on my hands?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not going to happen, sorry.
All right, so
You might need to show this one.
So my feet are back, but I haven't stretched my legs out long because in balance it's a little bit more difficult. Then I lift my feet and my knees off the ground, and then I try to lift my head off too.
Playfulness. How about a sense of magic?
Then come up. Now the official final pose is your legs are really, really straight.
Okay.
And that is very difficult because then as a counterbalance, your whole body has to lean forward. That removes stress off the wrists, which is quite nice because your forearms aren't vertical, but then your arms are bent like this, and oh my gosh, you feel it in your biceps. So
yeah, my body doesn't do that, sorry.
Okay, so we're going to work on variance then. So you come into the same position, knees on either side. Again, put your belly on your elbows, head on the ground, and now stretch your legs completely back and just stay there. So keep your toes on the floor, keep your head on the floor, and breathe.
Oh, you do that.
There you go. And then if you like, you can lift your head up off the ground.
Or not.
And put your head back down.
I gotta say, I love that you thought I could do that.
Give your wrists a bit of a twirl. Especially as we age, we don't spend enough time stressing our hands and our wrists. We do a lot of typing, which is the wrong kind of stress. This is sort of a healthy stress. You want to keep pressure. You want to put some weight on your arms during the course of the day to keep them strong. Keep the bones and the tendons strong. So we'll try it one more time.
Will we?
Yes, we will. What does it say in the book? It says twice, but the first time didn't really count.
Oh, it didn't, no.
Now your hands may be too close together. See how mine are just a little bit narrower than shoulder width apart.
Okay.
Knees on either side of your hands. Dig your elbows into your belly. Put your head down as gently as you can. And then stretch out your legs.
Yeah, it was easier to do it.
Yeah. And then lift your head up off the floor. And if you like, your feet. Well, I managed it for a second or two. I'm not sure if anybody saw that, but...
Not if they were doing what you said.
No. That's okay. They can always replay it and look at it later and then laugh at me falling on my face. Good. Who says yoga's not fun? Come back to seated and lie on your backs for Asana or bridge pose. So lie down, grab your ankles and plant them close to your hips. And if you can, keep on holding on to your ankles. You can also lift your heels and stand on your palms, gripping your feet. You'd like to keep your knees close together so that your knees don't splay open, but depending on tightness, they may open, but try to draw them back together once you're in the final form. Head on the floor, tuck your shoulders underneath so there's no pressure on your neck, and then simply lift your hips, push them up towards the sky. Try to lengthen the space between your belly button and your chin. Push your knees away from you and open up and breathe. Come back down. I'm going to do another variant where I hold on to my ankles, tuck my feet in. You might find it a little bit easier to come up on your toes and then sink your heels to the ground. If that works for you, go ahead. And then tuck my shoulders under and lift my hips up. And release. Tuck your knees into your chest. Tuck your chin up. Roll around on your back. And come back up to seated. After this is Plow Pose or Halasana. As I've described before, I don't do the full one where you bring your torso vertical. I find that's too much pressure on the back of the neck. So I'll do the variant that I've described before. Feel like a lazy plow pose. If your feet can't come to the floor behind you, keep your hands underneath your hips, just for security or safety's sake for your back and for your neck. As always, whenever you're in a pose like the previous one or this one where there's some pressure on the back of your neck, don't turn your head side to side. Keep looking up. Even if the cat comes in and jumps on you, keep looking straight up. So I basically kick my heels overhead, bring my feet down towards the ground, then I lazily let my hips sag down towards the floor behind me. And I can keep my hands here, or I like to reach up, grab my toes, and let my hips sag further down to the floor. Sort of like I'm in a forward bend, but I'm on my back. Your hands overhead or to your side, and slowly bring your legs down. Try to keep them under control. Engage your core so that your lower back doesn't pop up as your heels come to the ground. Take a breath here. Then we'll repeat. Tuck your knees in. Hands on the ground so you can push your feet over. Slowly come out of this again. Hips come down to the ground nice and slowly, for control. Holding on to your core as your feet come down. And squeeze your knees in, tuck your chin in, roll around, and rock back up to seated. So to describe a little bit more how I position myself there, I want to protect the back of my neck. So when I'm folding and my legs are going overhead, it's not only the top edge of my shoulders as in traditional plow pose that's on the ground, but the top edge of my shoulder blades as well. So there's a lot more of my shoulders on the ground. There's even a little space behind my neck so that I know that I'm not putting undue pressure on the back of my neck. It's totally up to you. I would no longer recommend that people do the traditional plow pose. I find it's just far too much pressure on the neck. So the next two poses are meditation. Now it's 10 minutes, not 5 minutes. And then Shavasana, again 10 minutes, not 5 minutes. Now granted, 20 minutes may be more than you've bargained for. So if you just do 5 minutes, that's perfectly okay. not a problem. Well, we're going to close off now so that you don't have to watch us just sit here and not do anything. Namaste. Thank you very much for joining us, and have a nice rest of your weekend and a nice next week too. See you next Sunday.